Billionaire Sheikh'S luxury car damaged by a poor girl, but what he discovers changes everything. In the heart of Dubai, amidst towering skyscrapers and golden sands, 17-year-old Layla lived in a small, crumbling apartment. With her unruly black hair and hazel eyes, she was a girl of humble beginnings. Raised by her grandmother after losing her parents, Layla spent her days working in a bustling souk, selling fragrant spices and vibrant fabrics. The air buzzed with the sounds of merchants calling out their wares, while the intoxicating scent of cinnamon and cardamom lingered in the air. The contrast of her world with the nearby luxury of the palatial estates was palpable. Layla often dreamt of a life beyond her meager existence, but reality always nudged her back. "Watch where you're going!" a vendor hollered as she hurried through the narrow alleys. One fateful day, at the edge of the souk, as Layla rushed toward a customer, she collided with a dazzling, sleek, black car. The vehicle belonged to Sheikh Amir, a renowned billionaire known for his opulence and charisma. The crash resonated like thunder, silencing the bustling market. "What have you done?" a bystander gasped. Eyes wide, Layla's heart raced as she looked up to see the towering figure of the sheikh emerging from his car. Clad in a crisp white thobe and a gold-embroidered agal, his presence demanded attention. Her breath hitched when their eyes locked, and she felt small and insignificant. Are you out of your mind?" he thundered, anger barely contained in his deep voice. "I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to," Layla stammered, trembling with fear. The luxurious vehicle gleamed, but the damaged fender reflected her panic. The crowd began to gather, whispers and murmurs spreading in ripples. Layla could feel their judgment, their eyes piercing through her like daggers. She had no money for repairs. This was a hopeless circumstance, spiraling out of control. "This is a valuable piece of art," the sheikh said, inspecting the damage as if it were a wound. His tone softened as he observed her disheveled appearance, a hint of curiosity breaking through the anger. "You look familiar." Just then, a small child approached Layla, tugging her shirt. His innocent eyes brimmed with sympathy. "Are you okay, miss?" he asked. Layla almost smiled. This little boy's concern carved a space of warmth in the chilling atmosphere. But before she could respond, Amir glanced back at her, a newfound intensity in his gaze. "You should pay for this, girl, or else." The threat hung heavily above her, suffocating her. Layla's heartbeat thudded in her ears. What choice did she have? "I don't have the money," she whispered, desperation clawing at her throat. Amir's eyes narrowed, but there was something else beneath his stern expression. "And what if I could help you in a different way?" The crowd gasped, caught in the tension. But Layla remained suspended in disbelief, torn between fear and an unanticipated glimmer of hope. Looming shadows of uncertainty stretched between them, and hearts raced as the implications of his offer hung in the air. Hey, before we dive back into this amazing story, I've got an important warning. Lots of subscribers told me YouTube removed their subscription without notice. Take a second to check the red button below and make sure you're still subscribed. I don't want you to miss any exclusive content that's coming up. And while you're there, smash that powerful like button. It really helps. With the algorithm, let me know in the comments, which city are you watching from? I love meeting every awesome person in this community. Your participation makes all the difference. Let's interact. Layla's heart thumped loudly in her chest. Her eyes couldn't leave Sheikh Amir's sharp gaze. What did he mean, help in a different way? The crowd buzzed, their whispers growing louder. Some looked sympathetic, others eager for drama. Layla felt the tension pressing down on her, the air thick, almost suffocating. She opened her mouth to respond, but words failed her. Amir took a step closer, lowering his voice. "You're in trouble, aren't you?" "Please, Layla's voice wobbled. She was trembling, ashamed. "I didn't mean to. I'm just trying to survive." Suddenly, Amir's expression shifted. It was subtle, but she noticed it. Something deep within his eyes flickered. Was it recognition or something else? He stepped back, rubbing his chin as if lost in thought. The crowd was silent now, awed by the sudden change between them. "Let's make a deal," Amir said slowly, almost thoughtfully. "If you can prove to me you are worth helping, I'll forget about this mess." "What do you mean?" Layla breathed, confusion washing over her. "Work for me, just for a month. Help me with errands, personal things," he replied, a hint of mischief sparking in his gaze. Her heart dropped. "You want me to work for you? For your forgiveness?" "No," he interrupted, his tone sharp. "I want you to discover who you really are." That was it. A jolt of fear rushed through her. "Who I really am? I don't understand. I'm just a poor girl." Amir's smile was sly. "Are you? You're living in a place where everyone has stories. But yours is special," he said, a weight behind his words. "What do you know about my story?" Layla snapped, the anger rising. "I know enough," he replied, eyes narrowing. "Your grandmother, she was someone significant. She was linked to my family in ways you can't begin to imagine." Questions swirled in Layla's mind. Her grandmother had never spoken about the past. Had she hidden secrets? The lump in her throat grew, choking her. "Why are you telling me this?" she asked, her voice shaking. "Because you need to know," he said, leaning in, so close she could see the glimmer of something in his deep-set eyes. "You might be a bigger part of this city than you've ever realized." The crowd began murmuring again, sensing the shift in the atmosphere. Layla was lost in Amir's words, swirling confusion pulling her deeper. "And what if I refuse?" she asked, feeling defiant despite her fear. Amir tilted his head, dark eyes piercing through her. "Then I will have no choice but to hold you accountable for the damage, and I assure you the consequences will not be pleasant." A gasp wound its way through the crowd. The tightness in Layla's chest expanded. She didn't want to be trapped. "But if I agree?" she whispered, the spark of desperation igniting. "Then we'll see what the truth of your past unlocks," Amir said, a grin creeping onto his face. In that moment, everything felt suspended. Layla felt as though she stood on a precipice, the ground beneath her teetering. Suddenly, a sharp voice cut through the air. "Amir!" A woman stepped forward, her face partially hidden beneath a dark veil. You should not be here with this girl. Layla's breath hitched. Who was she? The crowd shifted, murmurs spiraling once more. What do you mean? Amir replied, irritation flaring in his tone. Let her go, the woman demanded, voice firm. Layla's mind raced. What was happening? Who are you? She asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Someone who knows more than you think, the woman replied, eyes darting between Layla and the sheikh. The tension was electrifying. Layla felt a wave of dread and intrigue wash over her. Secrets were about to unravel. The woman stepped forward, her veil flowing softly as if to conceal her true intentions. Her eyes darted between Layla and Sheikh Amir, tension crackling like electricity. Stop this, she said, her voice a commanding whisper. Layla's heart raced faster. Who was she? What power did she hold? Why should I? Amir countered, a challenge in his tone. Because the truth will shatter everything you believe, the woman shot back, her gaze fierce. Layla felt a shiver run down her spine. Truth? What truth? Enough of these games, Amir snapped, but there was uncertainty creeping into his voice. Suddenly, the atmosphere shifted. The crowd quieted, eager to hear. Layla held her breath. Layla, do you know who you really are? The woman asked, her words piercing through the thick tension. Stop, Amir shouted, face hardening. But the woman didn't back down. She deserves to know. A lump formed in Layla's throat. She shook her head. I don't understand. Your grandmother didn't just sell spices, the woman continued, stepping closer to Layla. She was part of something much bigger, something dangerous. The crowd gasped. Whispering echoed around them, each murmur feeding the chaos growing in Layla's mind. Dangerous? Layla whispered, eyes wide. Yes, she was involved with a clandestine group, a family legacy tied to the Sheikh'S. Layla felt dizzy. Everything she thought she knew about her grandmother fell away. Amir, the woman said, turning to the sheikh, you know this. You're part of that family, aren't you? Heat flushed through Layla. Amir's expression darkened, but he didn't deny it. Stop, he commanded again, more forcefully. You don't know what you're saying. Oh, but I do, she shouted, pointing at him, conviction wavering in her voice. You can't hide from the truth, and neither can Layla. Me? Layla felt a surge of anger. You think I'm part of this? I'm just a girl trying to survive. That's exactly it, the woman pressed on. You're the key to unlocking a hidden power that might protect you both. Amir stepped closer, eyes stormy. What power? The woman hesitated. Your grandmother. Still, she was protecting documents, secrets that could change everything. And there are people who want them back. Breath caught in Layla's chest. What do you mean? There's a reason you collided with Amir today. Your past is intertwined with his family's future, the woman said, urgency growing in her tone. Layla felt the walls closing in. Every sound fell away. The crowd stood frozen, like spectators in a tense scene. Amir's eyes burned with frustration and fear. Enough of this nonsense! But Layla stood firm. If there's anything, tell me! Whispers of disbelief rippled through the crowd again. Someone in the back stepped forward, a man with a sharp jaw and a cold stare, eyeing Amir with suspicion. He wasn't here to help. "Tell me, Sheikh, what else are you hiding?" His voice cut through the fragile air. Amir clenched his jaw. "You stay out of this, Rashid." But it was too late. The man stepped closer to Layla, a predatory glimmer in his eyes. "The truth isn't safe, girl. If you dig deeper." "Then what?" she pressed, heart pounding, uncertainty swirling around her. Rashid leaned closer, his voice low and filled with dark promise. "Everything you've ever known will be ripped apart." Layla felt as if the ground was shifting beneath her feet. The quiet life she lived shattered like glass. "Choose now," Amir said, voice suddenly calm but laced with tension. "Are you in or out?" Layla's mind spun. Could she trust him? The choice loomed heavy. Unanswered questions swirled like a storm. And then a gunshot rang out, a deafening crack that silenced everything. The world stood still. The gunshot echoed like a thunderclap. Layla flinched, her body jerking as fear shot through her. The world around her turned blurry. Amir's expression twisted from irritation to horror. What was that? The crowd erupted into chaos. People screamed, scurrying for cover, their faces pale and terror-stricken. Layla felt her heart pounding against her ribs. She glanced around, desperate for answers. "Stay down," Amir shouted, his voice slicing through the noise. He pulled Layla close, shielding her with his body. She could feel his heart racing beneath the fabric of his thobe. It thudded hard against her, a frantic drumbeat that matched her own pulse. "What's happening?" she whispered, eyes wide with panic. "Just stay calm," Amir urged, scanning the crowd. Just then Rashid stepped back, widening his stance, his face hardening. "Get away from her," he barked, pointing at Amir with fierce intensity. "Rashid, this isn't the time," Amir started, but the urgency of the unfolding chaos drowned his words. "Amir, people are in danger," Rashid shot back, ignoring him completely. He looked past Amir to Layla. "You don't understand, do you? To them, you're just a pawn in a game that's been played long before you existed." Layla's stomach twisted. "What are you talking about?" she asked, confusion hanging heavily in the air. Suddenly, the woman in the veil stepped closer again, unperturbed by the drama. "You need to know the truth, Layla. This is bigger than all of us." "No more secrets," Amir snapped, turning sharply to look at her. "What do you mean?" The woman's gaze was steady, nailing them with intensity. "Your life is at risk, Layla. The documents your grandmother protected aren't just old papers. They're weapons in a family feud that could destroy lives. The truth about who you are." "Enough!" Amir exploded, frustration boiling over. "If you have more to say, say it quickly." At that moment, Layla's world shifted again. "The truth will shatter everything," the woman said slowly. "Your grandmother was connected to a powerful line, and these documents could threaten the stability of the Sheikh'S. If people find out you're alive—" "Them?" Amir interrupted, his eyes scanning the distance, suddenly wary. Before the woman could respond, another shot rang out, closer this time. Layla felt her heart drop. Something was coming for her. Rashid grabbed Amir's arm, urgency in his movement. "We need to move." But Amir shook his head, refusing to back down. "No, we can't leave her." The woman clutched Layla's arm. "This is bigger than you think. Trust me." "What's your plan?" Layla's voice trembled. her adrenaline mixed with despair. "You all know nothing about me." Rashid's expression hardened. "They'll come for you. They know you exist now." "What do you mean?" Layla felt her breath hitch. In her throat, the puzzle pieces didn't fit. "They wanted your grandmother's documents, Layla. You are the last link." Rashid's voice was urgent, slicing through the panic. Just then, the crowd shifted again. A dark figure emerged from the shadows, moving steadily. Layla's breath caught. It was a man, silhouette strong against the skyline. He stepped forward, eyes locked on Layla with a chilling intensity. "Layla," he called softly. The crowd's whispers grew wilder as he approached. "I've been looking for you." Layla froze, shivers running down her spine. Everyone stepped back, fear etched on their faces. "Who are you?" she demanded, the lump in her throat worsening. "Your past isn't just a secret anymore. It's a storm coming for you." The weight of his words buried her with dread, pressing down like a heavy shroud. "Run!" Amir shouted. But it was too late. The man's smile was cold, devoid of warmth. "You can't escape your destiny, Layla." Her heart raced, panic setting in. "No, I don't want this!" But as he raised a glimmering object into the light, the crowd gasped again. It was a locket. Her grandmother's locket. "Your grandmother sent me." "It's time you knew everything." With a sudden flash, Layla felt the ground shift again. Her life teetered on the edge, secrets spiraling into chaos. Then it clicked. The truth she had never known was finally within reach. And just as the world around her started to crumble, she felt an icy grip tighten around her heart. She could only wonder, what was the price of knowing? The man stepped closer, the locket glimmering in his hand. "Your grandmother said I would find you. She entrusted me with this." Layla felt the air escape her lungs. "No, what do you mean?" "Everything you've ever thought is about to change," he said, voice steady but low. He held up the locket, its golden surface warm under the harsh sun. Amir clenched his fists. "What's in it?" He moved forward, protective, hands tense at his sides. The man smiled, but it wasn't reassuring. "It's not just a trinket. It holds the key to your past and the path to your future." "What does that even mean?" Layla's voice shook, confusion swirling inside her. She took a step back, trying to process the weight of his words. "Your grandmother was hiding something from everyone, even you," he continued, fixing his gaze on her. "She was part of a clandestine group that didn't just traffic in spices. They were dealing with much darker things." "I don't understand," Layla whispered. "What darker things?" Rashid stepped forward, anger radiating off him. "Enough riddles. Layla deserves to know now. We're in danger." Layla's heart raced. "What do you mean? Who's in danger?" "Those who want the documents your grandmother protected." Rashid replied, his eyes grave. "They'll come for you, and when they do, everything will be at stake." "Show her," the woman urged, gesturing toward Layla. "She has to see." "What are you talking about?" Layla felt her head spin. The man stepped even closer, lowering the locket to eye level. "Your grandmother's secrets go deeper than you know. She left more than just this behind." Beneath his calm facade, Layla sensed a storm brewing. The fear in the crowd intensified. "Stop it!" Amir shouted. "Enough games! Who are you?" "I'm someone who knows what this locket can unlock," he replied, eyes flicking back to Layla. "You need to know, your grandmother was protecting more than documents." "What more?" Layla asked softly, emotions swirling inside her like a whirlpool. He hesitated, but then leaned in, voice barely above a whisper. "There's a prophecy about you." A jolt of fear shot through Layla. "Prophecy? What are you talking about?" "Your bloodline holds power. You could change the balance," he said, urgency creeping into his tone. "But you also carry a curse." Rashid's face paled. "A curse? What do you mean?" "It's ancient. They believed that whoever possesses the secrets will either save or doom us all," he explained. "And now, you hold the locket. You are marked." Layla felt a chill run down her spine. "Marked?" "Yes," he replied solemnly. "For generations, those who sought the truth paid with their lives." Silence fell over the crowd. Layla's breath quickened. The weight of her destiny pressed down on her like a heavy stone. "And what if I refuse?" she whispered. "Then you won't live to see the consequences," he warned, voice low and dangerous. "Enough!" Amir yelled, frustration boiling over. "This is madness. We need to move, now!" But it was too late. Sirens wailed in the distance, growing louder. Eyes widened in fear as the crowd started to retreat, murmurs turning to panic. Layla felt a cold grip on her arm. "You have to choose, now," the man urged, urgency hanging in the air. And just like that, the world tilted. Everything she knew felt like it was collapsing. "What if I'm not ready?" she cried, fear bursting like a dam. "Then prepare to face the storm," he said, releasing her, stepping back into the chaos of the crowd. The sirens echoed closer, shattering the moment. Amir's eyes darted, searching for an escape. But Layla could only stare ahead, pulse racing. Then came a dark figure out of the smoke, menacing and determined. "We're coming for you, Layla," the shadow growled, and in that moment, every fear she had ever known crystallized into a single truth. Her life was no longer hers to control. It had just begun unraveling. And as the chaos erupted around her, the only thing she could feel was the weight of the locket swinging against her chest, like a ticking bomb. The chaos around Layla escalated. People were scattering in every direction, fear gripping their faces. Sirens wailed like a storm, urgent and demanding. The man with the locket stood still, eyes locked on hers, waiting. She felt her heart pounding in her chest like a drum. "What do you mean I'm marked?" she asked, desperation lacing her voice. He stepped closer, his expression serious. "Your grandmother was part of a secret society. They believed you would one day carry a legacy." "What kind of legacy?" Layla's voice was shaky. The weight of his words pressed down on her. He lowered his voice, his eyes darting around. "Those documents could expose everything. They would ruin powerful families. And you need to understand. You're in danger because of who you are." "Stop!" Amir shouted, urgency in his movements. He positioned himself between her and the looming figure. What do you know? The man smirked, leaning back slightly. I know enough to say, your grandmother didn't just hide documents. She hid the truth about you. Truth? What is he talking about? Amir's anger bubbled just beneath the surface. Layla, you have to choose, Rashid exclaimed, scanning the crowd nervously. But I don't even know what I'm choosing, she cried, panic enveloping her like a thick fog. The man took a steady breath. You have the potential to control everything, or destroy it. Your voice will rise above them all if you accept this. Who is them? Layla's mind raced. Her world was spiraling, and she needed answers. But before he could reply, a sudden explosion rocked the street. Not far. The crowd screamed and scattered, bottles shattered, and glass went flying. Run! Amir yelled, pulling Layla away. She stumbled, lost. Fear gripped her as Amir dragged her toward an alley, away from the chaos. What is happening? She shouted through the din. Stay close, he ordered, glancing back. Rashid followed, his face pale. We can't stay here. They ducked into a narrow alley, the sounds of panic echoing down the street. Layla leaned against the rough wall, trying to catch her breath. What are we going to do? That man? He knows more than he's letting on, Rashid said, frustration flaring. Who is he? Layla's gaze darted down the alley. What does he want? Amir's eyes burned with intensity. He's a shadow from your grandmother's past. Someone who can either help or harm you. What do you mean, help or harm? Layla pressed. He can't just drop bombs on me and then disappear. But Amir's expression went stoic. That's the problem. He's connected to everything. Just then, the man appeared at the edge of the alley. You really think? You can run from the truth, he taunted, stepping closer, his eyes glinting. What do you want? Layla screamed. He smiled, a cruel twist to his lips. I want to show you what you've inherited. You may think it's just a legacy, but it's much darker than that. What? She could barely breathe, the fear tightening her chest. The documents your grandmother hid were meant to protect you. But they also bind you to a fate you may not be ready to accept. Enough with the riddles, Amir shouted, fists clenched at his sides. Then, in a shocking twist, the man pointed at Rashid. He was never your friend, Layla. What? Layla's heart dropped. What do you mean? Rashid has been playing both sides. The man laughed, dark and cold. He's part of the same dangerous game your grandmother tried to escape. Rashid's face twisted in fury. That's a lie. Is it? The man continued, unbothered. You didn't know, did you? He's here to ensure that the truth remains buried. Layla felt the ground shake beneath her feet. The man's words echoed in her mind. Her reality flipped. How could you, Rashid? But before he could respond, gunfire echoed again. Layla's breath hitched. I won't let you choose. We have to, Rashid shouted, eyes wide, and then he lunged at Amir. No, Layla screamed as the chaos erupted once more. Everything cracked like glass. She was caught in a storm, swept into darkness with nowhere to run. And she could only wonder, was anyone really on her side? The air crackled with chaos as Rashid lunged at Amir. It happened so fast. One moment, they were all in a desperate standoff, and the next, fists were flying. Layla stumbled back, heart racing. She wanted to scream. She wanted to run. "Stop!" Layla shouted. The words barely registered over the noise. Amir pushed Rashid away. "You're a traitor!" he yelled. Rashid's face twisted with rage, eyes flaring. "You don't know what you're talking about." Layla didn't know who to believe. The man with the locket stood back, amused by the tension, like it was a game. "Enough!" Layla cried, voice shaky. "Just tell me what's going on." Suddenly, gunfire rang out again, echoing off the walls, sharp and loud. Layla's heart stopped. She ducked instinctively, adrenaline flooding her veins. The man with the locket smirked. "You see, this is why you need to know the truth." The voices around her blurred. She could barely take a breath. Her mind raced. Truth? What truth? Then, in a flash, the man threw open the locket. Inside, a folded piece of paper glinted under the harsh lights. "Your grandmother left this for you," he said, his tone suddenly serious. "It tells everything." Layla grabbed it, trembling. "What does it say?" Her hands shook as she unfolded it. The crowd was silent now, waiting. Even Rashid and Amir paused. As she read, clarity mixed with confusion. "No, this can't be right." Her voice fell low. "It says my grandmother was supposed to protect something powerful, and that she wasn't just a seller of spices. She was part of a secret order." Gasps rippled through the onlookers. The man nodded. "Yes, a powerful order that transcends generations. Your grandmother kept secrets from everyone, even her own family." "Why didn't she tell me?" Layla felt a rush of betrayal. Her chest tightened. Why did she hide this? The man stepped closer. "Because the truth is dangerous. Whoever finds you will do everything to get to those secrets. You are the key." "No!" Rashid surged forward, eyes wide with a sudden realization. "You're in danger, Layla. You have to listen." But before he could finish, another figure burst into the alley. A tall man, wearing dark sunglasses, face hard as steel. "Get away from her," he barked, pushing through the throng of bodies. "Who are you?" Layla's mouth went dry. "I'm here to take you back," he said, voice dripping with authority. "We don't have time for this nonsense." "Back? Back where?" Layla felt a hot surge of panic. He turned to her, intensity radiating. "You don't understand. The documents are powerful, but they also come with a curse. A curse that your grandmother tried to escape." "What curse? What are you talking about?" "Enough." Amir moved forward, fists clenched. "You can't just threaten her." The dark-suited man held up a hand, his expression unfaltering. "This isn't just about threats, Sheikh. It's about survival." Then, rash and unexpected, Layla blurted out, "I want to know the truth, now!" The dark man's expression didn't change. He took a step closer, lowering his voice to a near whisper. "Your grandmother made enemies who will stop at nothing. People who want you dead. You're connected to them through blood." Layla's heart sank. "Blood? What do you mean?" His eyes were fierce. "You are the daughter of a very powerful man, Layla. Your father was a leader in that order. They killed him when he tried to leave." Silence fell, like a heavy curtain. A lump formed in Layla's throat. What? That can't be true. Believe it, he said firmly. This is why they're after you. The crowd gasped collectively, the tension thickening in the air like fog. Your father wasn't just anyone. He could have changed everything, the dark man continued. And just as Layla opened her mouth to respond, a loud explosion rocked the street. People screamed. Bodies surged forward in chaos. The dark man pulled her back, but she stumbled. "Get her out!" Amir shouted. What was happening? Her whole life flipped upside down. "Wait!" Layla cried out, confused, terrified. The world tilted again, noise blaring around her. Smoke filled the air, and panic exploded in every direction. And in that heartbeat, the dark man's grip tightened. You must choose, Layla. Stay or flee. Questions swirled. In that moment, nothing was certain. Then a shadow loomed, and she felt it in her bones. Danger was coming for her. Which choice would lead to survival? Who could she trust? As the ground shook beneath her feet, Layla knew everything was about to change. She stood on the edge of a truth she never wanted. The dark man's grip tightened, pulling Layla closer. Confusion twisted her stomach as the explosion's echo bounced off the buildings around them. Sirens wailed. Her heart raced. "Choose, Layla!" he shouted over the chaos. "Stay here, or flee," Amir interrupted, fear etched on his brow. Layla felt the tears prickling at her eyes. What is happening? Why is this happening? Before anyone could answer, her gaze flicked back to the man. He was still holding the locket, eyes trying to pierce through her fears. "You don't understand what's coming," he said, voice low. "They've been searching for you, and they won't stop until they find you, or what they want." "What do they want?" She felt dizzy, trapped between two worlds. "The documents," he replied. "It's bigger than just the truth. Lives are at stake. Your life is at stake." The crowd began to murmur again, faces grim, scared. They didn't understand either. They were caught up in a storm they didn't see coming. Amir took a step forward. "You know about the documents? What else do you know?" His voice was intense, almost pleading. The man shifted slightly, a calculating look in his eyes. "Your grandmother wasn't just trying to escape a dangerous past. She was hiding something even more valuable. Something that connects to you, Layla." "What?" Layla's breath caught. "What could possibly connect me to all this?" He opened the locket wider, revealing two tiny portraits. "The man in this picture, that's your father." Layla's heart sank. "My father? But my grandmother said he was gone." "Gone, yes, but not in the way you think. He was part of the order, and it was his actions that led to your mother's and your own danger," he explained, urgency rising in his tone. Amir and Rashid exchanged looks of disbelief. Layla felt the weight of those eyes on her, and for the first time, she realized the truth of her mother's death was tangled in this web of secrets. "What do you know about my mother?" she whispered, anger mixed with anguish bubbling up inside her. "Your mother knew about the curse," the man said, his voice steady, but the impact hit like a wave. "She tried to warn your grandmother, but it was too late." Layla felt something crack inside her. What curse? Tears streamed down her cheeks. This curse protects the bloodline, but also puts a target on your back, he said, leaning in closely. They want you to fulfill a prophecy your grandmother fought against. Suddenly, Rashid interrupted. Enough! His voice boomed through the chaos. This isn't helping. We need to leave, now! No! I need answers, Layla shouted, feeling the ground shift beneath her once again. But before she could respond, the dark man's phone buzzed violently in his pocket. He pulled it out, glancing at the screen. This is bad, he said, urgency flooding his voice. They found your location. Panic surged through the crowd. People frantically searched for exits. Layla's heart raced again. What did he mean? Who was coming for her? Trust me, he shouted, grabbing her hand. We have to move, now. Where to? Layla gasped, desperately hoping for a safe answer. As they turned to escape, another explosion rocked the alley. Fire erupted, and Layla felt heat wash over her. She stumbled, lost in the chaos, but the man yanked her back into the fray. Stay close. Amir, Layla screamed, searching for the familiar face in the crowd. But he was gone, lost in the sea of panic. Then, just as she turned to follow the dark man, she stumbled upon Rashid, who had fallen to the ground. His eyes were wide, filled with pain and betrayal. Layla's breath hitched. Rashid, she cried, rushing to him. What's wrong? He gripped her wrist tightly, pain etched on his features. Layla, don't trust him. What? Why? Because, Rashid gasped, eyes growing dim. He's not who he says he is. Before she could comprehend, a truck sped into the alley, tires screeching, men shouting inside. The world spiraled. Run! The dark man yelled, pulling Layla in the opposite direction. But the truth hung heavy in the air, buzzing like electricity. Who could she trust now? And just before she made her escape, Rashid's last words echoed in her mind. He's not who he says he is. As the truck's doors flung open and shadows rushed toward her, Layla felt the ground drop beneath her. She was caught between truth and deception, with nowhere to hide. The dark man pulled Layla with urgency, but the chaos around them felt like a whirlwind. Shouts filled the air. People ran, panic churning up dust. Her heart raced, pumping adrenaline through her veins. Stay close, he shouted. But Layla's thoughts were everywhere. Rashid's warning lingered in her mind. Something wasn't right. Just as they turned to escape, a loud crash echoed from the truck. A tall figure leaped out. Don't let her go, he yelled. The voice was familiar. Her stomach dropped. It was her father, a man she had never met. Memories flew through Layla's mind, the stories her grandmother told about him, weaving tales of bravery and loss. Dad, she gasped, disbelief flooding her. He didn't look like the hero in her dreams. His clothes were tattered, his face marked by something darker. Layla, he called, eyes locking onto hers. Get away from him. Confusion twisted her insides. What's happening? Why are you here? Don't trust him, her father ordered, pointing at the dark man. But she couldn't believe it. This man had brought her hope. Hadn't he? "Stop, you're both scaring me," Layla shouted, a lump forming in her throat. The dark man stepped forward, anger flashing across his features. "You don't understand. Your father left you and your mother for a reason." "What?" Layla staggered back, breath hitching. "What do you mean?" "Leave, Layla," her father said, voice low, eyes fierce. "You have to trust me. He's been using you to settle an old score." "Oh, really?" the dark man said, a bitter smile forming. "And who's the real betrayer here? The father who vanished, or the man who actually wants to protect her?" "From what?" Layla cried, feeling the walls closing in on her. "What's the truth?" With desperation, her father stepped closer. "I never meant for this to happen, but I need you to know the truth about your mother, about the legacy." "Enough!" The dark man's voice was sharp. "Your mother was never the innocent she seemed. She was entangled in something far darker." Layla froze, the world around her falling silent. "What do you mean? What was she involved in?" "Just like your grandmother, she believed she could outsmart the game. Chasing shadows," the dark man continued, shaking his head. "But they were a part of something dangerous." "No!" Layla shook her head violently, trying to block the growing dread. "This can't be true." Her father stepped forward, desperation etched on his face. "It's true, but I'm here now. I can protect you." "She believed she could keep you safe by hiding the truth," the dark man pressed. "But running only made things worse." As confusion rolled through her, the crowd murmured in low whispers. Frowning faces turned toward the unfolding drama. Then, without warning, two more figures appeared, wearing dark suits, eyes scanning. They were looking right at her. "Layla," one of them called, voice cold. "You need to come with us." Panic rushed through her. "No, I won't go anywhere with strangers." "Those are the people after you," her father yelled, face turning bloodless. But the men advanced, hands outstretched. The air thickened with fear. The dark man stepped in front of Layla. "Run! They'll take you!" "No!" Layla shouted, feeling torn between her parents, her heart heavy with betrayal. And then an explosion rocked the area again. Dust filled the air. Screams erupted. "Get down!" someone yelled, chaos erupting all around them once more. Layla struggled to see through the smoke, heart pounding furiously. She had to choose. But as the chaos swirled, she felt a tug on the locket around her neck. It pulsed with energy, pulling at her. In that moment, everything shifted. The truth was out there, and danger was closing in. She clutched the locket, the weight of secrets hanging heavy. Who could she trust? Which way should she run? As the shadows lengthened, it felt like time slowed. The answers felt just out of reach, and she was trapped between the past and an uncertain future. Then, grasping the locket tighter, a horrible thought crossed her mind. What if the true enemy was someone she hadn't even considered? The smoke began to clear, and Layla felt the weight of the moment settle over her. Her father stood just a few feet away, eyes pleading, while the dark man faced off with the figures exiting the truck. Everything felt like it was happening in slow motion. Uncertainty clung to the air, like the dust swirling around. "Layla, listen to me," her father shouted, voice raw with urgency. "You can't trust him. I didn't leave you. I was trying to protect you from them." "Are you sure about that?" the dark man replied with a sneer, his gaze focused on Layla. Did he tell you how many lives were lost because of his choices? Stop, Layla cried, her voice breaking. I can't handle this. Panic welled in her chest, and she clutched the locket tighter, the cold metal grounding her amidst the swirling chaos. Without warning, the men from the truck moved forward, eyes narrowed. Layla, come with us, one commanded, voice steely. But fear seized her. No, she yelled, shaking, her head vehemently. I won't just go with anyone. Instinctively, she took a step back, and without thinking, she rushed towards her father, who extended his arms as if to shield her from the impending danger. I promise I'll explain everything. You deserve to know the truth. But before she could embrace him, a shot rang out. Time stood still. A sharp crack sliced through the air. Layla gasped, heart racing. Run, her father barked, pushing her away, just as she felt a jolt of fear. He took the brunt of the danger, and Layla screamed, frozen in the throes of panic. Dad, she cried, but her voice was drowned out by chaos. The crowd rushed toward the alley exit, urgency swelling. Move, the dark man shouted, pulling her alongside him. They dashed deeper into the alley as the truck screeched, retreating, leaving chaos dragging behind. Her feet pounded on the uneven ground, each step echoing the pounding of her heart. What's happening? She gasped, turning to look at him, desperate for clarity. We're not safe here. Whatever your father is hiding, it's not safe for you, he urged, darting around the corner, urgency etched on his face. Neither are you, Layla shouted back, realizing the truth clung to every word. Conflicting emotions roared like an inferno within her. Was he really trying to protect her, or did he have another agenda? As they emerged onto a quiet street, Layla's feet stopped. I can't keep running, she declared, defiance channeling through her. Then stand and face it, he countered, eyes blazing with intensity. You can't hide from your past, Layla. With that, something shifted in her. She took a deep breath and found her resolve. You're right, I won't run. Just then, distant sirens pierced the air, growing louder. Layla turned to face him, determination mingling with fear. But first, tell me why I should trust you. He hesitated, swallowing hard. Because nobody has your back like I do. Your mother was powerful, and they'll come for anyone tied to her, including you. And in that moment, the spell broke. Layla's anger flared. If you care about me at all, tell me the whole truth. He stepped closer, his tone shifting from urgency to honesty. Your life was destined for more than this chaos, Layla. You hold secrets that could change everything. But you must be ready to accept who you truly are. Layla felt the weight of the locket. It pulsed against her chest. Memories of her grandmother flooded back. What do I do now? She asked, vulnerability creeping into her voice. Emboldened, the dark man found her gaze. Fight, embrace your story. It's yours, a legacy you cannot ignore. As they stole away beneath the shimmering skyline, Layla knew she'd face whatever lay ahead. The fragments of truth had begun fitting together. Sparks of hope flickered in her heart. But as she turned to him, uncertain but willing to face this unknown, she felt a shiver of trepidation. What shadows still lingered in her family's past? A question flickered in the back of her mind. What if the real danger was just beginning? Flood the comments with your reactions and theories about this wild ending. And don't wait another second to share this finale with 5 friends who need to see it. Only true fans understand how vital these actions are.